and welcome back to the We Bombastic Few podcast, episode number 4. You thought we wouldn't make it, but we're still doing it. All right, just a reminder to everyone, we are now available on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, but also recently added Pocket Casts and Google Podcasts. We're still working on getting on Apple Podcasts, so you can look out for that. It should be coming soon. And also, I want to thank everyone for your feedback, likes, and subscriptions on YouTube and also on Spotify and Anchor. And then you can find us on social media on Facebook at We Bombastic Few, Instagram at also We Bombastic Few, and we're working on getting on Twitter. We'll let you know when we're on that. Anyway, today is going to be a special episode because we have our first guest. You know him as the first guest of We Bombastic Few podcasts, Christian. Care to say a couple words?
I like how you almost said my last name there. I really appreciate it. It was very good of you not to. Hello, I am Christian, obviously. I am an art and design major at some undisclosed place in Soviet Union.
None of that is true. All right, and then your other two hosts. You know them, you love them. We got Daniel.
Ew.
And we got Lindsay.
Hello.
All right.
That
Today's
was so lame, Lindsay.
You guys ruin everything.
Guys, I had more oomph in my voice, all right? This is my first time, okay?
We're wasting time in the introduction.
Okay.
All right. Today's segments, we're going to have a random wiki article. Again, you guys love that. We got a hypothetical as usual, because what's a podcast without a hypothetical? And then we got a BuzzFeed quiz to take for today. But really quick, we're going to have you've seen it before on interview podcasts, the rapid fire question round. We're just going to start out right away with that. Daniel?
All right, now Christian, obviously we know nothing about you since your entire introduction was a sham.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about your dreams and ambitions.
Well, you see,
Actually, being on this podcast is probably beyond your wildest dreams. Next question: you kiss your mother with that mouth?
I do actually, right on the nose.
Okay. So, all right, I got a little bit of a word problem here for you. Do you think you can handle it?
No, but give it to me.
All right.
Gently, though.
Girl Scout cookies come packed 12 boxes to a case. Scout Sydney sold 15 boxes of trefoils. The airspeed velocity of an unladen African swallow is 11 meters per second.
Mm-hmm.
How tragic have the last 4 hours of your life been?
Well, that depends on what bedroom window right now. But so far, they have been, pretty chill. I got my man Lindsay right next to me, and we've been chilling.
Chill isn't exciting enough to be on this podcast. I will kick you out.
That's
right
fair. Now. We have been going at it. Mm-hmm.
Anywho, I think that leads us into our first segment. Lindsay?
This is your cue.
Thank you for introducing the BuzzFeed quiz, Daniel, very clearly. Yeah, and as if Brent already mentioned in the introduction that we were going to be doing a BuzzFeed quiz. So we're each going to be going through it. We're going to read the question aloud. We're going to exclaim what our answer is going to be, and then make as many funny jokes on the way, and then try to crack jokes at each other when we find out which Disney princess we are.
All right.
Everyone get your quiz ready up?
The quiz is, which Disney princess are you?
On ohmydisney.com. It's very official.
/quiz. Oh, it's not even BuzzFeed.
Should we call which ones we're going to be before we start?
That's a good idea.
I feel like, yeah.
In my repertoire of 4 Disney princesses I can think of off the top of my head, I'm going to say Aurora.
Right. Got it. Dude, I don't even know if I've seen the movie with Aurora in it, honestly.
Sleeping Beauty?
That's
Sleeping Beauty.
Obviously, I'm going to be Ariel, and I don't really think there's any reason to dispute that. So,
I think I'm going to be Tatiana. Is that her name?
The Princess Frog?
Princess the Frog.
Yeah.
You like cookies and cake?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got that jazz.
Yeah,
that jazz music.
I hate gumbo.
Gumbo isn't that good, but hey, I cook it.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
That's probably why it's not that good.
So the first question is, my favorite weekend activity is.
Just say the one that you are.
I think I'm gonna go with anything outside.
Putting my
Alright.
feet up.
Curling up with the book.
Okay, interesting. The
I
next
do
one
like
we
reading.
have is the animal who will lead my inevitable royal parade is
Dragon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is there
alligator.
Is there
You're gonna do
any
an
cool
alligator?
way to
Yeah,
So we'll give some context. The choices are raccoon, fish, tiger, dragon, horse, owl, alligator, chameleon.
I
Who's a
can list
chameleon
off
leading a
which
parade?
Disney princess. Chameleon is Tangled, but
But,
like
like, a
I could
parade.
list off each princess just based on their sidekick animals.
See, like honestly, I might be too biased right now because I know this correlates to the princess I did, just because I loved how he
You're right.
jazz on a trumpet.
But like a dragon, like you're going in a parade and you have a freaking
But the
dragon
dragon that they're
introducing you.
the tiny.
Okay, but that's not the point of the quiz, Lindsay. All right, you're getting it all wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a wise owl.
Okay. I can't say I'm pleased with your choice, but I'm going dragon.
It's
that's
got to
the right
be
choice.
raccoon. They're the coolest animal.
The trash panda does fit you.
All right, Daniel, what's our next question?
The most important quality I look for in a prince is charm, kindness, dreaminess, humor, honor, personality, smolder. I don't need a prince.
Ooh,
I'm inclined to say I don't need a prince, but do I want a prince?
That
I
is-
think I might.
I think I do. Who doesn't want to?
I'm gonna go with humor.
humor.
Personality includes everything, so I'm going with personality.
That's a wise choice.
It's got to be smolder for me.
Does personality include dreaminess though? I don't think it does. Because, yeah, I'm thinking I gotta agree with the personality thing though.
Okay,
You gotta have someone you can talk to, right?
Christian, what's the
Whack.
next question?
All right, we have 11 more, or the 11 questions total, and we're on 4, so we're gonna need to go through this a little bit quicker.
All right, fine. Which of these outfit elements are you most likely to wear?
Sweats all the way.
Sweats, a dress, heels,
yeah.
glass slippers, headband, necklace, a skirt, a vest.
I'm gonna say a
We
necklace.
should all hit glass slippers, but I'm in sweats.
Yeah,
It has to be sweats.
in the pursuit of honesty, it's sweats, as I am wearing at this moment.
Yeah, me too, and pretty much every other day of my life.
My favorite place to burst into song is
I don't sing.
Why isn't the shower an option?
Actually,
I
do
know.
sing.
Well, because
I do sing. a good
that's
bit.
not PG Disney movie material, Daniel. So I'm gonna go with a forest.
in a car isn't an option. I guess on the go would go into that category.
In my room is kind of like in the shower, so I'll roll with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I'm
My
not outside
favorite-
ever, so in a room for me too.
right.
That's the only place I am.
My favorite hairstyle is I'm gonna go with sleek and straight.
Alright.
Half up, half down.
Top knot.
Yeah, we're gonna go with sleek and straight.
Sheesh already.
Someday I want to be a baker, a business owner, a fashion designer, a zoologist, a singer, a writer, and a CEO.
What's the difference between a business owner and a E CEO?
Executive versus like
The business owner's above CEO, so the owners
Business owner,
aren't
then.
like they own the stocks, and the CEO runs the company. So yeah, business owner.
I want to go with athlete. That sounds most fun out of all those.
That would just ruin my sport, though. Thought about that
I'm
before.
gonna roll with zoologist.
Well,
Remember, it's zoology, not zoology.
All right. In
All right.
one word, my style is
Why is bombastic not
non-existent.
I-
Unfortunately, that's not an option. So I'm gonna go with
Functional.
classic.
classic.
I don't know
I'd
what
like to say
classic style
functional,
is.
but I'm trying to be honest with myself. So I'll roll with fun.
Do you guys think I'm more classic or vintage? I'm like I would say quasi hipster is how I dress.
Quasi.
So we're gonna go with vintage. Vintage, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Vintage. We'll go with vintage. I don't know if that's what vintage means.
I live in a
Castle.
Is this an
God,
ideal
that's
situation, or are we
How-
talking about
how's
my
that-
studio apartment?
Okay, well, if treehouse is an option, obviously I'm gonna live in a treehouse.
I'm going with castle.
I gotta
of
go with
course.
castle too.
So this is an ideal situation.
Sure.
Um,
Because otherwise, everyone's just gonna hit like apartments.
who's not gonna choose castle? Yeah, that's true.
I
Alright.
chose Treehouse.
It's 4 p.m. That means it's time to. I don't like any of
Well,
these.
if it's 4 p.m.,
Take a
Take the
nap.
gym.
Oh,
probably
100%.
doing-
Take a nap.
Yeah. Take.
I would
Oh,
like to
see,
take a
that's
nap.
prime nap time, but I think I'm more likely to have a snack.
That's like my ideal do chores time, but that's such a
Yeah.
lame answer.
Yeah, but it's the truth. Like
I'm going with
4
my
p.m.
chores.
is when you get started on the grind for my
All right.
geography major.
All right, last question is favorite color of the few that they give us.
Favorite color?
color, I'm sorry.
They give us
What's your
blue,
favorite color,
yellow.
brother?
Oh yeah, we got green, blue, a tannish, and
That's yellow.
orangish.
That's yellow.
Okay,
It's
my
Kind
screen
of
says very
yellow.
tannish.
It's more like manila folder.
yeah.
It's
on
Okay.
Christian, that's very, very yellow. I'm going blue.
All
I
right.
got my result.
I
um,
too have a result.
green. Who the heck?
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm the freaking girl from what's it?
Wreck-It
Wreck-It
Ralph.
Ralph.
Oh,
Wait, what's her
Still
name?
remember
Princess Sweet Tart Peppermint Patty.
No, Von
I am
Penelope von Schweetz.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
also Vanellope Von Schweetz.
This is wrong, man.
I'm
I-
Jazz.
There's
It's
only room for
so-
one Vanellope Von Schweetz on this
Wait.
podcast.
Wait, you're Jasmine, Lindsay?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Which one is Jasmine from? Is that Aladdin?
Yeah, that's Aladdin. I am Cinderella.
You didn't know what Jasmine
Of
was
course.
from?
I haven't seen Aladdin.
Dude, have you not seen the live
Bruh.
action that
You
came
haven't
out?
seen Aladdin?
Oh my.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, we gotta talk about this.
brother.
All right.
I'm a little upset.
You
I'm
haven't
the
seen-
most basic princess there is.
Wait, who are you? I wasn't even listening.
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Like,
Okay, we all
I'm
got
pretty
ones that-
sure my dude doesn't even have a name, and if it is, it's called Prince Charming. So,
Yeah, this quiz is certifiably wrong.
yep, 100% inaccurate. Oh my Disney! If you want to know what princess you aren't, take their quiz.
Get it right. Do you
Yeah.
seriously see Vanellope Schweetz reading a book? I mean, come on. She's like
That's true.
She
jumping
probably
off
can't
the
even
walls on
read.
candy. Yeah,
Yeah, she probably
agree.
doesn't
She
like
lives in a
shoot
video
high all the
game.
time
What
to
do you
sit
think the
still.
schooling system is in a
I
economy
wanted
that
to-
only cares about kart racing? Huh?
I wanted to live in a treehouse, so I don't understand why I didn't get Ariel.
Extensive
Um,
knowledge.
All right, now that we got our results, we are now transitioning to the bombastic quote. Daniel?
Ah, yes. The bombastic quote of this week. The only way to know what you forgot is to remember it.
Wow.
That's deep, man. That's a really deep.
That gets you thinking.
if you think about it,
Man,
if you think.
That's the kind of thing that gets me through the day. Just think about something like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's time for our next segment. You got it, Christian. Take us
All right.
away.
So I was put in charge of the hypothetical for this week, which seems like a bit of a cruel thing to give like the star segment to the guest because there's so much pressure, right?
We were bribed.
So instead, I switched it a bit. Made it a bit of a moral dilemma instead, which is sort of like a hypothetical, right? Right? Yeah.
I mean, we're letting you on the podcast, so sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, because I am.
Matthew
Your
McConaughey
favorite.
wasn't available and didn't return my calls, so
That's okay.
I mean,
That's okay.
naturally, if you're on this podcast, it's our job to agree with everything you say, right?
Yeah. So, in my time studying at Cambridge to be a doctor, I was learning about these clinical trials. All right, to like test medicine. So, this is the ethical dilemma. You got a person that you're really close to, and they have Alzheimer's. All right, so they're losing their memory, and you get them enrolled in a clinical trial where it's a double-blind study. So if you don't know who that is, that means that people who are receiving the medication don't know whether they're getting a placebo or the real medication, nor do the doctors. So it's nobody knows what's actually going on to keep it as what's the word I'm looking for? As honest as possible. All right. So you got this friend, you get them enrolled. You're hoping they get the medication, right? Because if it hits clinical studies, then there's a good chance it's actually kind of helping. But in the course of this, you accidentally stumble upon learning that your friend is actually getting the placebo. All right. So the question is, do you switch out the medication placebo to the real medication to get your friend help? And thus you would ruin the whole result of the entire clinical. Or do you leave it and let the results pure? Now, I know exactly how I sit on this, and I feel like most of you will probably agree with me because you're all in the same general field of like physics as I am, and you agree with like the integrity of a test, right? But I want to hear your thoughts. You know?
Well,
First off, if for those who don't know, a placebo is more like
yeah.
A sugar
Faking.
pill that is given to a participant that has no effects, but it is to see if their mind alone can cause results and changes in
Yes.
their condition.
It's a way to change up a variable in a case study.
Yeah.
I did a paper on the nocebo effect in sophomore year of high school, which is the opposite of the placebo, because the placebo is normally a positive benefit. The nocebo is a negative benefit.
Really, I don't think I ever read that paper. That sounds
like you got actual
really
medicine, but you think it's placebo. So
Well,
nothing
no. You got a placebo, but you're getting worse from the placebo. Like, you've convinced yourself that this medicine is hurting me, and you end up actually having health, like, detriments to your health via a sugar pill.
That's pretty cool.
So I
Not
think I have
cool,
my
but-
answer to the question. I think I would switch out the real pill for my friend. And I'll tell you why. Because not only am I helping my friend, but I'm not ruining the study. Because if there's one thing mechanical engineering studies have taught me, it's that it doesn't matter if your data is good or bad. All that matters is the format of your lab report.
That's fair. That's very important. You got to have that running header.
Yeah. 12 point.
All right. So Daniel, switch out the study, ruin of clinical research, and basically get everyone else kicked out.
Well, I wouldn't say
the study if it was found out.
I wouldn't say it would ruin the study, because there are outliers. And so if there was a significant difference, they would probably just be like, either we need to do more research or just throw out that data point entirely, saying it was an outlier. With that
but
said,
making that claim kind of ruins the ethical dilemma. So I'm gonna have to ask you to like accept the fact that it's getting thrown out. Is that okay with you, Brent?
I didn't
Also,
know we were using my real name. But okay. Well, now that that's
Throw
out the
data
window.
points, Brent.
But so I don't think I would, but only because it is still in clinicals. Like, there is a chance it doesn't work and it gives you a second foot. Or I guess a third foot. Did I mention it was an amputee test? He forgot to mention that. But,
Come to think of it, I've never seen Brent without shoes on.
You're right. Yeah.
All right, so like a third, it could grow a third or second foot depending on your current amount of limbs. So,
Which may or may not be a plus depending on how you're looking at it, but we'll
And
ignore
where
that.
it goes.
Yeah.
that's an important.
I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So
I would definitely battle with it. I think that I think I would end up going through with it and giving it to my friend that is going through the clinical case study, but I think it would nearly eat me alive just knowing that I messed with it and kind of went behind the doctors or the scientists' backs trying to.
But I mean,
I
if
don't
you
know.
truly believe it's helping your friend, then why do you care? This is their life.
Well, yeah, but it's still like I'm doing something wrong in the sense that that's what I mean by it's going to eat me alive. Like, it's still in my mind thinking that I went behind someone's back. I did something that was not acceptable, and I know that to them it's going to be a huge deal, or it's for this hypothetical, it's supposed to be a huge deal.
that's fair.
Yeah, and
So let me
in
ask-
all seriousness, like, the possibility, like, if the medicine works and for some reason this one data point ruins the whole study and they have to throw it out,
which it
then
would.
then I've just prevented this medicine from getting to a lot of people, and so I have directly hurt a lot of people. So I don't think I would switch it out.
But I'm also
I
thinking
might
like
request it get switched out.
I'm
But
thinking that
also
if
makes it's double blind.
Yeah.
if you are seen as like, so is this the friend, the person that you are that has this decision, are you part of the case study at all, like in the sense like you can affect like Because obviously you get the pill somehow. Are you part of it?
Yeah. So this ethical dilemma is actually from the show Grey's Anatomy, which my girlfriend watches. So that's where I figured out. And yes, in this case, the friend who figured out that medication was actually placebo for her friend was part of the clinical study.
Okay.
But it was a double blind, so she wasn't supposed to know.
Didn't
Okay,
even come
so-
up with his own hypothetical.
Okay,
Hey, man.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like someone who may or may not be like very involved with the data points can see that there is some positive effect going on. So therefore, if they're seeing that something's good coming out of the original pill or the original like study medication, then obviously the people who are researching the data will be finding out that it's positive. It's actually helping them in a sense, and that way that's getting
Well,
close
but
to being able
theoretically-
to give to other people.
Theoretically, in this situation, though, they would see, oh, but this person was just given a sugar pill, and it also helps. So, like, it might not actually be helping.
Well, that's what I'm
They-
saying. I
it's-
wouldn't
it's
do
a-
it.
It's a double blind, so they don't know.
But when they
where sugar
when they
pills
review
went.
the data, they know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like knowing that I can start seeing progress in the people who are, since I'm finding out who's getting what. If I'm seeing that a handful of people are doing better, that probably means that the medication's helping in some sort. So if I just trust and that it's working, that probably means that the data points are showing the same thing. Therefore, eventually it's going to become like.
But that's the
A
point of the
prescription.
placebo effect, to see whether the was actually due to the medicine or not.
Well,
So-
yeah, I'm saying if it was a medicine,
Well,
though.
this is which why I would absolutely totally not switch it, barring the fact that in this dilemma it ruins the entire study. So as Daniel said, therefore the effects can't be published, and they'd have to redo all this money's wasted. The people who are taking it are taken off of it because the study was ruined if it's found out. Switching the medication, so it would hurt somebody else, right? Because you would switch it, and then
Oh.
somebody else would have to go on the placebo.
We're taking it away from someone else?
Yeah, sorry if I didn't make that clear. So she
Oh.
went in and she switched the medication
Oh.
with different. That kind of changes it.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't change my answer of still not doing anything, but...
Yeah. So basically, it turns it is a selfish act. So you're thinking like, oh, this is a selfless act. I'm trying to save my friend. It's a selfish act because you're switching it and you're hurting somebody else that you don't know to benefit someone that you do know. So
Dang, that person's
my
a
take.
jerk.
yeah, and I think I don't watch the show, but I think in the show it actually did ruin the study because she was found out, and so everyone who was actually taking the medicine was taken off of it.
I mean, it's a drama. It was
yeah.
probably
Oh,
found out.
100%. But
No, that's a documentary. That happened.
that's real. Alrighty, that's what I got.
All right, now we do have an ad from our sponsor.
Yes. On top of this, I was given leave to contract the sponsor for this podcast, which is really helpful because I've had a lot of experience with my communications major doing that. But it's kind of a low move for people who are trying to get the guests to do this, right? So today we are sponsored by Iron Strap Sandals. Do you love your iron-toed boots but hate how constrictive they are? Well, Iron Sandals are the new and innovative product that combines the sandal design you love with the iron strength that you need. Each strap is expertly handcrafted from nuclear-grade iron, connected to a patented solid iron sole designed for maximum strength. The classic open-toe concept allows for the perfect airflow to keep your feet cooled while you work with all that dangerous and heavy equipment. Use code BOMBASTIC at productsodium.com to get 10% off your next purchase of iron-strapped sandals. That's not all. If you order today, you will receive an additional silk construction hat for free with your order. That's BOMBASTIC at productsofodium.com.
That is a great deal.
I know. Like I reached out to them, and honestly, the amount of monetary help, like, go order from them, guys, please.
Why wasn't I made aware of this sponsorship prior to this episode?
And they sent me a pair to test,
Yeah.
and I can confirm that they are made of iron.
Hey,
It's nuclear-grade iron.
Yeah.
It's actually been used in nuclear reactors. Like, that is incredibly strong, right?
Wow.
Yeah. A nuclear physics degree really helps with understanding this stuff. I tell you what, like, I wouldn't have known anything if I hadn't have taken universe in quantum mechanics.
You're a hero, Christian. Honestly.
Thank you.
I actually took a course in quantum mechanics. All right, but so from there we got, you know it, you love it, the Wikipedia article. Now I got it today. Now if you don't know, if you're new to the podcast, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to wikipedia.org. We're gonna hit random article, and I'm going to give the other 3 members of the podcast the title of the article, and they will, using their extensive background knowledge, tell me what that article is about. And so we're going. All right.
And if we're right, he's going to confirm everything we've said.
Yeah, well, I mean, I highly doubt you guys don't know what this is, because everyone knows what a Feghoot is.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
repeat that?
I'm sorry. It's a Feghoot.
Feg.
One word.
Oh, that's
Country
totally
of origin,
different.
please. Country of origin.
One word. Country of origin. I'm gonna say Morocco, based on the fact that it references in the reference section.
Can you spell that out for me?
Feghoot. Feghoot.
That is correct. You have won the spelling bee.
Mom, I did it. Also, shout out to Mom. All right. What,
There you go.
Daniel?
Mom,
I can tell by your silence. You know exactly what a Feghoot is. Care to tell us what a Feghoot is?
Well, of course, Feghoot is the Moroccan word for the Jewish yarmulke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
basically a Feghoot is just like the little hat you put on your head, but there's a twist because, you know, the Hebrew people of ye old era did not make their way down to Morocco. Morocco.
Yeah. They did not make their way to the instrument, correct?
It was
They
a
didn't make their way to
highlight.
Morocco that often, so they needed special hats. So these yarmulkes actually have a wide brim, like a sombrero.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
I do recall that they were required not only the 1st, but the 12th, 15th, 21st, 39th, and 51st week of the year.
Wow.
That's a lot of weeks
Yeah.
Can
that,
confirm.
to be required.
Well, you all are wrong because, you know, in my degree on getting in Latin terminology, I learned that Feghoot, it actually is a slur in Owlish, you know.
An owlish.
Yeah, it's what owls use to insult each other. You dumb Feghoot.
Man, you're such a Feghoot, Daniel. I think
Wise guy. Eh?
I think that definitely is the insult of the year. I'm just gonna start new challenge to listeners out there: make Feghoot the insult of the year.
Please, somebody post it on Reddit and try to get to.
Man.
A Feghoot.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. No one brought up
I'm
its
going
connection to Longhorn. What's the Looney Tunes guy's name? The rooster. It's like
Loghorn or Fleghorn, Foghorn, whatever.
Foghorn, Longhorn, Feghoorn. No, Feghoot.
enough, right?
Longhorn, Feghoot. That's his name, right?
Crepe corn Feghoot.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. I know.
Okay, yeah, I do recall that word has some key points in it that do point towards words. I do want to say that. So if we put our puzzle pieces
The
together,
hoot's a big giveaway.
we have, like, obviously we have owls wearing yarmulkes on specified weeks of the year, insulting other owls wearing yarmulkes on specified weeks of the year.
That sounds pretty close to me.
Do we have any other details that were missing?
Anyone have anything to add?
No, I think that's a pretty good compendium, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think it can be defined any better than we have.
Yes. So for a recap for the listeners, if you didn't know, it's a version of the Yamaha with a cowboy brim, and it is also the well-known insult of for the owls. A stupid owl is a
Nice.
Feghoot. And so Wikipedia, I need to edit the article because they claim a Feghoot is also known as a story pun or poetic story joke, is a humorous short story ending in a pun, typically a play on a well-known phrase. So
Now you corrected
Like
yourself
Wee
on pun, but I
Bombastic
think I
Few.
like it better as a story pone.
yeah. So after this, we'll correct the wiki article and get that up to date for.
It's a
them.
prose
At
version
2,
of a
Brute,
slam film.
you just got Feghooted, Caesar.
It's the new yeet.
Damn.
E2 Feghoot.
That's the lost version of Shakespeare's works. That was in the original play work of it. All right. Well, I think that might be everything we have planned for this podcast. Lindsay, you want to wrap it up for us?
That is all we have today. Once again, thanks for staying tuned to our YouTube mainly, but also those of you who are listening on Spotify and Anchor, and obviously patience when we're putting Facebook together. Instagram's looking better. Also, there's a delay on Google and Apple, like we mentioned before. Give us your feedback because we're all still new to this. If you don't like Christian here, he's not coming back.
Listen, man, you can only get a brilliant biochemist on the podcast every once in a while, all right?
Don't listen to him. Give us your true feedback.
I mean, that's
obviously.
the farthest-fetched one
And,
you've had so
I
far,
mean-
Yeah.
biochemist.
I just
Daniel,
suck at chemistry.
we're off and on about introducing him into the podcast initially because he has diabetes, but we accepted it.
Make sure you vote in the poll if we keep Daniel on.
Yes, we do need that feedback for sure.
The flip side is having me on. What the polls say.
All right,
All
rap
right.
battle right now. It'll decide.
Oh gosh, I concede. White flag. Never mind. And then you get it.
All right,
Daniel-
any final thoughts?
I think Daniel has to
also-
spit a verse.
I just want to say, sorry, Christian, but you have to be in the podcast group chat to be on the podcast.
Feels
So
bad, man. All right, feels bad.
Oof.
Too close to home. All right.
All right, and then
we'll
also
invite you to be on the next podcast we start.
Sorry,
coming soon to a podcast near you. Anyway, final thoughts from me. I'm going to say really quick, we are on Google Podcasts as of today, but we're still working on Apple Podcasts. And then also, don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, the likes, subscriptions, and then also if you want to recommend to a friend or comment, that really helps us out, gives us an idea of what you guys like, what you guys want to hear. And also you can just contact us directly if you know us, which you probably do. And yeah, I think that's all I have.
It's from you.
I've said my piece.
Do you want to say goodbye to anyone?
Goodbye, Christian.
You won't be reinvited.
Bye.
Oh, and I also I want to give a shout out to Brent's mom for always listening to us. Thank you,
Shout
Brent's
out.
mom.
Shout
you.
out Brent's mom.
I know this is the first time I've been on there.
And Christian, any last words?
No.
Okay.
But thank you for being the first guest of the We Bombastic Few podcast. How does it feel
You're welcome.
to go down
it
in history books?
Feels bad that I wasn't on the original team, but I make a good second stream. Okay, so thank you.
Well, as not Brent, not Daniel, and definitely not Christian, I want to offer you guys another bombastic week. Thanks for joining us.
And cut.